Now is the president of the Jim Harbaugh fan club, the one and only Paul Finebaum. Paul, your reaction, please, to Jim Harbaugh staying in Ann Arbor.
He went to Minnesota expecting to get a job, Max. He didn't get it, so now he's trying to spin it any way he can, and there's no getting around that he looks very bad. He isn't just some garden variety coach at nowhere state. This is Jim Harbaugh at the University of Michigan. And everyone connected to both programs, to Michigan, expected him not to come back as anything other than the Vikings coach. So he went there, he interviewed. As the interviews went on, according to various sources, Max, the Vikings realized they didn't want him, they wanted to go younger. They liked what was going on in the NFL, especially with the Super Bowl matchup, and it began to disintegrate. He hopped on the plane, and before he came back to Ann Arbor, he called the AD and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm staying. Can't wait to move ahead. And by the way, this will never happen again." Even though he, in essence, held this program hostage for a month, and he did all this, Max, on National Signing Day, the day that he committed to players and they committed back to him, and he's about to walk out on them if he could.
The thing he better make sure doesn't never happen again, it's a lot of negatives there, is beating Ohio State, right? Like, that's the thing he's got to make sure happens again now that he's going back to Michigan, Paul. He says he will not make this a recurring issue, this being taking interviews for other jobs. Are you buying it?
Well, the only reason I might buy it is I don't think he'll have these opportunities again, Max. He is 58 years old, and there were 9 NFL openings this year. So I'm just trying to think, if these clubs did not want him, and obviously he had some relationships with the people up in Minneapolis, then who exactly would? Jim Harbaugh has not set college football on fire. He's had one really good year. He went to the playoffs this year and lost and was really blown out by the eventual national champion Georgia. He's had 1 or 2 other years where he made a run, but until this year, he couldn't do the one thing, the single thing that he was hired to do, and that was beat Ohio State. He's now done that once. I don't think he's going to do it that many more times in the future.
But if he didn't set the NFL on fire, he at least had it smoking, Paul, because he got to a Super Bowl. Do you think he gets Michigan back into the playoff next year? That, even if you don't beat Ohio State, like, that's a success. You get into the playoff. Do you think he could do that?
I would say no. And he has a good team. They'll be preseason top 10 ranking. And the schedule is fairly soft, except for one game, November 26th at Ohio State. I don't see them winning that game right now, and I think they will have a good year, but you have to beat Ohio State to get to the playoffs. You have to win the Big Ten, and I don't think they'll do it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.